Laziness isn't a feeling, it's a habit. But habits can be broken with the right rituals. Each morning gives you a fresh chance to lead or fall behind. Win your morning and you'll win your entire day. Wake up early. It sounds simple, almost too simple to matter, but it's one of the most powerful choices you can make to take control of your life. Life doesn't respond to what we hope for or wish for. It responds to what we consistently commit to. The early hours of the morning are sacred. They are quiet, distraction-free, and full of potential. They give you the space to think clearly, move intentionally, and start strong. In those first precious moments of your day, you are setting the tone not just for the next few hours, but for the direction of your entire life. Are you going to live reactively, pulled by the demands and chaos of the world, or will you live with clarity and purpose, guided by your own design? When you wake up early, you're doing more than just rising with the sun. You're stepping into leadership, the leadership of your own life. Most people live on autopilot. They hit the snooze button multiple times, drag themselves out of bed and go through the motions. They rush through their mornings, barely making it to work on time, and then wonder why they feel stressed, behind and overwhelmed all day. It's not bad luck, it's bad planning. And it begins with how they start their morning. That snooze button isn't just delaying your wake-up time, it's a small act of surrender. Every time you hit it, you're choosing comfort over discipline, hesitation over momentum. You're already starting your day from a place of retreat. But when you choose to wake up early, intentionally with purpose, everything changes. You reclaim time that most people waste. You create space to think, breathe, and prepare. You start your day on your terms. It doesn't matter whether your version of early is 5 o'clock a.m., 6 o'clock a.m., or even 4:30 a.m. The specific time is not the point. What matters is that you give yourself enough time before the demands of the world begin. Time for reflection, for planning, for growth, for movement. Time to center yourself before everything else tries to pull you off balance. I've seen countless transformations begin with this single shift. People who thought they weren't morning people completely rewired their lives by committing to an earlier start. One small change, waking up even an hour earlier, led to new habits, more discipline, and better results across the board. The early hours become a launchpad for personal growth, and over time, that 1 hour compounds into days, weeks, and eventually years of progress that most people never experience. Because while the rest of the world is asleep or rushing, you're building. You're investing in yourself. You're not reacting, you're creating. The truth is, your morning is either your biggest weapon or your biggest weakness. If you take control of it, you can shape the day. But if you give it away, to the snooze button, to chaos, to distraction, you'll spend the rest of your day trying to recover. Winning the morning is about more than just waking up early. It's about saying, today, I lead. Hydration is one of the most overlooked yet powerful ways to jumpstart your body and mind every morning. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, your body wakes up in a state of dehydration. Think about it. You've gone an entire night without drinking a single drop of water, and yet the first thing most people reach for in the morning is coffee. While caffeine might give you a quick jolt, it doesn't solve the real issue. In fact, it often makes it worse. Caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it pushes even more water out of your system. So, instead of fueling yourself, you're actually draining your energy reserves even more. The first thing you should be doing, before you check your phone, before you step into the shower, before you brew that cup of coffee, is drinking a tall glass of water. Not a sip, a full glass, at least 16 to 20 ounces. When you do this, you begin to replenish your system from the inside out. You activate your metabolism, you flush out toxins, you boost your brain's ability to focus, think clearly, and process information. That simple glass of water is like hitting the reset button for your body. It's a signal that it's time to wake up, time to move, time to perform. I've met people who were constantly low on energy. They'd complain about brain fog, fatigue, headaches, and they'd try everything to fix it. More sleep, energy drinks, supplements, special diets. But the one thing they often ignored was the most basic of all, water. When they finally added this one simple habit to their morning, drinking a full glass of water upon waking, everything began to shift. Their energy levels improved. Their thinking became clearer. Their digestion improved. It was as if their body had just been waiting for that missing piece all along. It's not just physical either. Hydration has a powerful impact on your mental state. Studies have shown that even mild dehydration can impair mood, memory, and cognitive function. That means if you're starting your day dehydrated, you're already behind, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You're asking your brain to operate in a fog, and it doesn't have to be that way. With a single, consistent action, drinking water, you can set yourself up to operate at a higher level right from the start. People often underestimate the power of small habits. They are looking for some grand, complex solution when the truth is far more accessible. Drinking water in the morning doesn't cost anything. It doesn't require any equipment, no planning, no scheduling. It's simple. But that's the beauty of it. Sometimes the simplest things carry the greatest power when practiced consistently. If you want to wake up with energy, clarity, and control, don't skip this. Make it a ritual. Keep a glass or bottle of water next to your bed. Wake up, stand tall, and drink. That small act, repeated day after day, becomes a foundational habit. It's a declaration to your body that you are ready, that you are intentional, that today you're starting strong. Your body was not made to be still. It was designed for movement, for action, for mobility, for strength and endurance. And how you use it in the first moments of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. When you choose to move your body first thing in the morning, even for just 15 minutes, you send a powerful message to yourself and to the world. I am in charge. I am not waiting for motivation. I move because I said I would. This movement doesn't have to be extreme. You don't need a gym membership, fancy equipment, or a complicated fitness program. You don't need to train like an athlete. All you need is the willingness to move. It can be as simple as a brisk walk around your neighborhood, light stretching in your living room, a few yoga poses, or a basic calisthenics routine. Push-ups, squats, jumping jacks. The point isn't to break records. So the point is to build momentum. Because that's what movement does. It creates momentum. It wakes up your muscles, your heart, and your brain. It boosts circulation, releases endorphins, and lifts your mood. It gives you an immediate win, a physical victory that your mind recognizes and builds upon. Suddenly, because you've already done something good for your body, it becomes easier to do other good things. To eat better, think clearer, act with intention. You've shifted your mindset from passive to active, from hesitant to decisive. And perhaps most importantly, moving your body in the morning builds discipline. It reinforces the truth that your actions don't depend on how you feel. You won't always feel like moving. Your bed will be warm. Your mind will offer excuses. But when you move anyway, you train your mind to follow your will, not the other way around. That's how leaders are built. That's how confidence is earned. Every drop of sweat, every step, every stretch becomes a declaration. I don't negotiate with comfort. I show up regardless. Over time, this simple habit becomes a pillar of self-respect. You begin to carry yourself differently. You begin to look in the mirror and see someone who follows through. Someone who doesn't wait for permission or inspiration. Someone who takes ownership of their body and their life. That energy shows up in your work, your relationships, your decisions. Because when you win in one area, it ripples into all the others. I've met people who transformed not just their bodies but their entire lives through this one shift, committing to move each morning. They lost weight, yes, but more importantly, they gained belief. They started the day proving to themselves that they are capable, that they are not ruled by laziness or doubt, that they are powerful, focused, and disciplined. Don't overlook this. Movement isn't just about fitness, it's about identity. It's about telling yourself, this is who I am. Every time you rise and move, no matter how small the effort, you're reinforcing that truth. And that truth builds the foundation of a life lived on purpose. What you feed your mind in the first moments of your day matters more than most people realize. Think about it. Your mind is most impressionable in the early hours. It's clear, open, and ready to absorb. And yet what do most people do? They grab their phone, they scroll through endless feeds of negativity, noise, and distraction. News headlines filled with fear, social media posts dripping with comparison and anxiety, gossip, drama, outrage. Without even realizing it, they're starting their day on a mental diet of poison. They're programming their minds to be reactive, distracted, and unfocused, all before their feet have even touched the ground. But there is another way, a better way. Instead of giving the world access to your attention before you've even given it to yourself, take control. Start your morning by feeding your mind with something that nourishes it. Choose to read something that elevates your thinking, something that sharpens your perspective, It could be a personal development book that teaches discipline, purpose, or mindset, a biography of someone who overcame massive obstacles and built a legacy, or something spiritual, scripture, a devotional, or words that connect you with a deeper truth. These inputs shape your thoughts, your beliefs, and ultimately your actions. Reading for just 15 minutes every morning might not seem like much, but over time it compounds. That's over 90 hours of intentional learning every year. That's more knowledge than most people gain in years. And it's not just about accumulating facts. It's about transformation. When you feed your mind the right material, you begin to think differently. You start to see possibilities where you once saw problems. You begin to carry wisdom that guides your decisions. You speak with more clarity. You lead with more confidence. You act with more purpose. Great minds are not born, they are built. And they are built by what they consume daily. Just as you wouldn't eat junk food every day and expect to be physically fit, you can expect your mind to stay sharp and strong while feeding it garbage. What you read becomes what you think. What you think becomes what you say, and what you say becomes what you do. It's all connected. So why not start each day by filling your mind with greatness? Champions, leaders, high performers, they all have one thing in common. They are intentional about what enters their mind. They protect their mental space fiercely. They know that growth is not an accident, it's a decision repeated daily. When you commit to feeding your mind first thing in the morning, you're not just learning, you're leading. You're taking responsibility for the direction of your life. Make it a ritual. Keep a book next to your bed. Highlight what moves you, reflect on it. Let those words soak into your mind before the noise of the world even has a chance to get in. That one choice, to read instead of scroll, can change your entire trajectory. Because when your mind grows, everything else follows. Most people wake up and instantly jump into reaction mode. The alarm rings, they check their phone, and before they even take a breath, they're responding to texts, emails, headlines, and the demands of others. The day hasn't even started and they've already surrendered control. But life isn't meant to be lived by reaction, it's meant to be lived by design. If you don't take the time to lead your day will lead you, and usually straight into distraction, stress, and burnout. That's why strategic planning is not just important, it's essential. Spend just 10 minutes each morning planning your day with purpose. Not making an endless to-do list filled with every minor task. No, you choose your top 3 priorities. The 3 actions that will move your life forward. The 3 things that, if completed, would make your day a success. This isn't about being busy, it's about being effective. You can spend 10 hours reacting to everything and getting nowhere, or 3 hours focused on the right things and creating real progress. Think about this. Every day you are either building your dreams or helping someone else build theirs. When you plan your day in advance, you take ownership of where your time and energy go. You stay centered, you operate with clarity. You don't allow the urgent to rob you of the important. Most people are busy being busy. They check off tasks that don't really matter. They confuse movement with progress. But the highest performers, the people who consistently achieve, grow, and lead, they plan before they act. When you take time to plan your top priorities in the morning, you eliminate decision fatigue later. You don't waste mental energy asking, what should I do next? Because you already decided it with a clear mind. That clarity becomes your compass. It helps you say yes to what matters, and more importantly, say no to what doesn't. And here's the real secret. When you focus on just 3 priorities, you actually get more done. Why? Because you operate with intention. You avoid burnout. You generate momentum. You feel the satisfaction of meaningful progress instead of the frustration of spinning your wheels. Over time, these daily wins compound. You begin to build a life of consistency and achievement, not chaos and exhaustion. This simple practice of morning planning can transform not only your productivity but also your peace. You stop feeling overwhelmed by everything. You start seeing clearly. You become the architect of your life, not a passive passenger. Tomorrow morning, before the world makes its demands on you, take 10 minutes. Write down your top 3 priorities. Commit to them. Protect them. And watch how your entire day begins to shift. Remember, don't just respond to life, lead it. Because the one who plans leads, and the one who leads wins. Before the chaos of the day takes hold, give yourself 5 minutes to see success before it happens. This isn't wishful thinking, it's not fantasy or daydreaming, it's training. mental preparation, a daily rehearsal of who you're becoming and what you're about to conquer. When you visualize, you're programming your mind to focus, to believe, and to align with your purpose. You're not just seeing results, you're feeling them. You're stepping into your future with clarity and confidence before you've even taken the first step. Close your eyes and picture yourself achieving the 3 priorities you set for the day. Imagine how it looks, how it feels, how your body moves when you're confident, the pride in your voice, the energy in your walk, the calmness of being in control. Feel the momentum building. That feeling is power. That's your mind aligning with your mission. And the more vividly you visualize, the more real it becomes, not just in your imagination, but in your reality. Science backs this. The brain doesn't fully distinguish between something vividly imagined and something actually experienced. That means when you consistently visualize success, you're reinforcing the neural pathways associated with action, achievement, and belief. You're telling your subconscious mind, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is the standard I operate from. You prime your mind to notice opportunities, to filter out distractions, and to act in alignment with your goals. You set your internal compass to success. Top athletes do this before every game, every race, every performance. They don't just train their bodies, they train their minds. They visualize the win long before the scoreboard shows it. They see the finish line, the trophy, the applause, not as fantasy, but as preparation. And the same applies to entrepreneurs, artists, professionals, and anyone who's serious about achieving at a high level. Success happens twice, first in the mind, then in the world. But visualization only works if you make it part of your daily discipline. 5 focused minutes in the morning. No distractions, no multitasking, just you and your future. You don't need fancy tools, just a quiet space and your imagination. You don't have to visualize your entire life. Just the next right move. Just the day ahead. Visualize yourself walking with energy, speaking with purpose, acting with convictions, finishing strong. See yourself handling challenges with grace and confidence. That's how you win the day before it even begins. Do this every morning and you'll notice a shift. You'll walk into your day with more presence. You'll handle pressure better. You'll stop waiting for motivation and start creating it. Why? Because you've already seen yourself succeed. And your brain believes you. That belief drives action, that action drives results. And that's how the cycle of greatness begins. So start today. Visualize your victory. Train your mind to lead your life, not follow your fear, because what you consistently see in your mind, you'll eventually hold in your hands. So here we are, at the end of a message that's really just the beginning of a new life. If you've listened closely, you now understand that laziness isn't just some bad habit, it's a thief. It steals your time, your dreams, your energy, your potential. But here's the good news. You have a weapon. A simple, powerful, daily ritual that can defeat it every single morning. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You don't need some perfect plan. You just need to win the morning. Wake up early, drink water, move your body, feed your mind, plan your day, visualize your success, express gratitude. That's it. 7 steps, 1 hour or less, and it will absolutely change the trajectory of your life if you stay consistent. Don't fall into the trap of overthinking it. Don't wait for motivation, just start, even if it's messy, even if it's hard, even if you fail some days. Start again. That's how real change happens, not in the big dramatic moments, but in the small, consistent actions that stack up, day after day. Laziness dies when you take ownership, when you stop being reactive and start becoming intentional. And this morning ritual, it's more than a routine, it's a declaration, a message to the world and to yourself that you're no longer available for excuses, for average, or for wasted potential. You are here to win. So make the commitment, not just to try, but to commit for 30 days fully, consistently. Watch what happens, watch who you become, because the moment you decide to lead your morning, you begin to lead your life. The battle is won in the first hour. Win it, and everything else falls into place. You don't need perfection, you need progress. You don't need more time, you need more intention. And you don't need permission, you just need a decision. Make it today, make it count, and never look back.